Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Is there anybody out there? Hello, everyone. Glad you can hear me. Making sure everything's camera on and you can see this ugly mug. How was everyone's weekend? Do you have any fun D&D sessions, tabletop sessions in general? Or did you just have a lazy weekend? Hear about your weekends. Thomas Broadfoot, thank you for the like, much appreciated. Notice the chat is weird and kind of overlaying the Mapmaker Monday graphic. Oh, that's why. I had it like this. I need to fix that for later. Anyway, just a heads up. Magic Update's launching on June 12th, if you weren't aware. 9 days in a row, bro. Hopefully you're making some money. Mad money. Get some overtime? Alright. Welcome, one and all, to Mapmaker Monday. My name is Mac. I am the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. Dungeon Alchemist is what you see in front of you, and this is the official channel for Dungeon Alchemist on Twitch or Facebook or whatever platform you happen to be viewing from. We are multi-streaming right now to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Kick, Provo, Steam, etc. We're a little bit everywhere. It's actually been possible to do round rooms for quite some time in DA. That being said, you must do it by hand. So it's kind of one of those things that it's not always, you know, as straightforward and simple. But it is possible. I just want to iterate that. So what I'm doing here, actually, technically, the whole time I was building this up until today, I was in the standard build you have access to right now. And all I was using to make this is a combination of structural objects. So if you go to objects and structural, there's a whole bunch of objects that can flush out buildings, you know, columns, woodwork, bridges, freestanding walls. These can be placed anywhere, rotated. These round items, there's like flooring pieces, some walls. That's what the wall is right here that you see. So I'm using stuff that is built into DA right now. The other things, like these floors that you see, like this staircase, these were located on the Steam Workshop. If you go into the Steam Workshop tab here and go to Browse Assets, there are over 4,000 assets available, I believe now. Let me just double check that number. And there's a collection of round assets that was shared by Swedish Cook. These ones here are great for building towers. Hey, Kingdom Matthew, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Hey, Damn Fam, let's give them some love. Say welcome to the Raiders, please. Hey, Justin, how are you? I know you. So these assets here, Ed, and this is a good thing for you to learn. These can be downloaded and then they're added to your collection in DA, which you can expand your building power, your building capability. Now in Dungeon Alchemist, when you disable collisions, not only does it allow you to like merge objects together, like I can push this rock into that rock, but it also allows you to do a couple other things. One of the other behaviors is it allows you to raise objects up and down. So as you can see here, I'm actually raising this up and down now, which allows me to make a second and a third floor. Please don't pillage me. No, I pillage you the same, everyone included. Gambit Antiware, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Damn Fam. Kingdom Matthew, how you doing? And Justin, how are you? So, we call it the Damn Fam, just a heads up. When you save a map in Dungeon Alchemist, our proprietary file format, our map format, is a .dam file, which stands for Dungeon Alchemist Map. And so we lean into that a little bit. Busy. I feel like I'm burning the candle at both ends, so to speak. I've been on, essentially... Fire and Bone, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated, much appreciated. Welcome to the Damn Fam. I feel like I'm burning the candle at both ends, because I've been basically on, I've been doing, early mornings and late nights to try and kind of overlap with the Belgian team with Dungeon Alchemist, so I can work a little bit more. Oh, that makes sense, Ed. You know what I like to do every once in a while with apps like, map makers or tools that I enjoy? I'll just pop into them every once in a while and play around with them, even though I'm not actively using them, just to keep myself fresh. If there's a game I regularly play and I'm taking a break, I'll still, pop in and play, once a month. I know everybody's a little bit different, but I do that just so I kind of keep it fresh, in my head. But the same with, when I used to use, Incarnate a lot, I would use it, at least once a week or so just to keep it fresh in my head. Tomb of Annihilation would be so fun. DOA is an interesting setting. So, for those just tuning in, we build a map every week on Mapmaker Monday, and you get to watch live. We don't necessarily finish the map in one session. Usually it's a complicated build that takes several sessions. So over the past, 3 or 4 weeks, every Monday, I've kind of plugged away a little bit each week. We've spent some time, kind of setting up the forest, clearing out the area for where the foundation will be and the tower. We made a neat little garden. Hey, Bang, how you doing? We've got an outhouse and also a shed that we're going to fill out today in a well. And then there's a sewer hatch back here that's like an escape hatch. Little tunnel. If the wizard ever needs to escape. So this is a wizard's, respite. Kind of like their private residence in the middle of nowhere. There's multiple floors, and I've designed this to pull apart. This is something anyone who owns a copy of Dungeon Alchemist can do right now. Anyone can do this. It does take a little bit of elbow grease. You gotta raise objects up and down, stack them on top of each other. Notice how everything pulled away in one piece? That's because everything on this is on top of this piece of wood. So it's one solid piece for all intents and purposes. Interesting. So you're expanding that as a homebrew? It's very cool, Ed. So the first floor. Yeah, I always make it a point to say it correctly. I also make it a point to say regardless correctly. A lot of people say irregardless. Oh, Alex, by the way, thank you for saying happy Monday. Happy Monday to you, my friend. I did not see that. I apologize. And let's see. Dungeon Master Chef. You made a crypt for Descent into Avernus. How is that? That sounds cool. Is that up on the workshop? Yeah. regardless. The other thing, though, I am chaotic neutral when it comes to saying GIF or GIF. I use them interchangeably, sometimes in the same sentence. Cambit Antiware, thank you for being a fan of the software. Really appreciate you being here, by the way. So I honestly just will see. My grammar is awful, but I do know that some words just don't exist because I know, I used to like be really crazy about spelling bees. But yeah, like the phrase. But anyway, that doesn't matter. That was a long time ago. Mac used to be a different person. Yeah, I do want to anger Seisu. I'll just say GIF and GIF interchangeably. It's my chaotic neutral way of coping with this ever-evolving world we live in. Okay, so let's fill out this shed. I think we need some tools. So, maybe I should put the shed closer to the garden and then move the outhouse. But I don't want the outhouse by the water. I think the outhouse is good. The shed could be a little far away. We could put a wagon. Put some tools in it. So, Joel Grox, first off, welcome to the stream. Your question in regards to that, Dungeon Alchemist is a map-making software and an immersion utility that's meant to be used in tandem with virtual tabletops, such as Roll20 or Foundry. So you can make a map in Dungeon Alchemist, and then you can export it for print. You can export it to either print at home or be printed by our partner Kraken Wargames. Additionally, you can export as a digital format, like a JPEG, an MP4, or a WebM file. So we offer still or animated map exports that are great for TV tabletops or projector tabletops for like home play. And we offer direct export support for Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, Above VTT, and we're working on support for others constantly. And Dungeon Alchemist works universally with tons of virtual tabletops because it uses JPEG. So essentially, yes, Foundry is the way to go if you want to play with Dungeon Alchemist maps or Fantasy Grounds or Roll20, especially for online play. Our maps export flawlessly to those services and includes line of sight, so data for line of sight, lighting, walls, windows, and doors. So all of that information is drawn in automatically, and we have a tool that auto draws caves and draws the walls for them for your tool of choice too. So it saves you tons of time for generating line of sight data. Hope that answers your questions there, Joel. Hello, Harry Weatherford. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Okay, let's get back to the build. So let's fill this out with tools and equipment. By the way, I am in Magic right now because this map, I already opened it in Magic and it updated it to the newer version and I couldn't open it in an older build. So I have to load it in Magic. I made a mistake. Anyway, so that means y'all get to see some of the stuff in Magic, like a little bit of extra sneak peek today. Potentially. So I think I'm gonna put like a little bread peel against the wall here. So one thing you'll notice right away is the object menu has been reorganized quite a bit. And that's a huge benefit to you because it was getting extremely dense and there's like tons of categories. So for instance, like utility and craft menu, like they used to be kind of combined and now they're separate. So there's like a whole bunch of categories that are now kind of independent and on their own. These used to have colliders, but it's okay. Let's put a bucket. Ooh, we need a watering can. I'm gonna put the watering can over here. Yeah, and if you have any other questions, Joel, feel free to ask. This is actually the official Dungeon Alchemist channel. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist, so any and all questions Dungeon Alchemist related, I'm here to answer them. Think of these streams AMA format. That's good to hear, Harry. That's good to hear. Glad to hear it. So it's best, what I would recommend, okay, so they have 3 sizes that you can snap together. I'm going to just save this really quick and open on a new map to show you it. And it's not a problem at all. I'm just going to step out of this so I don't mess up my build. Well, we have 5 other stretch goals that are planned updates for Dungeon Alchemist after this. Fun with objects, tricks and traps, water worlds, instant dungeon, high seas, etc. So, essentially, I mean, there's gladiator arenas and coliseums on the workshop right now. It's quite possible to build them. But okay, Ed's asked what you should do about these round walls. Let's say you want them bigger than the biggest one available. So first off, if you just hold shift when you place, they snap to a grid, and then you can just rotate and it'll automatically duplicate when you hold shift, right? So you essentially can just snap a bunch of them together really quickly. Boom. I've got me a round structure. Took me 2 seconds. That didn't take long at all. Now, if you want it larger than this, what you would do is find the wall that you want to use. So let's say we're using this same wall, right? I'm going to scale the first wall up to the size I want. So I'm going to do it max size in this case. Actually, let's do it about 2/3 of the way. Now, once I've got it the size I want, I'm going to snap it into place. So it's like, you know, fits into somewhere. And then I'm going to duplicate it and hold shift on the next duplication. And then essentially try and line them up. But now they're the exact same size. So the issue of just lining them up is the only problem. And you could do that by hand. That's the benefit of copying them off of the master, is they'll all be roughly the same size. Does that make sense? And this is, you know, quite large compared to the original, if you're taking a look there. So that is the biggest like size, like the wall in there. Now, in just a few days, this won't matter so much. Let me show you why. Let's go with temple. We're gonna go with no wall. So in the next update, you'll be able to generate round structures, like pretty easy. And you can even sink them into the ground. Let's do this. No, sink it down. So it's like ground level. Here we have a little coliseum / fighting pit. That didn't take long at all. And you could just take and flatten the terrain here. Right up to the edge of it. Essentially made like a little coliseum or a little arena in like 2 seconds. This update is going to make things so much easier for everyone across the board. You'll be able to make pretty much any shape you want in the coming days, as long as they stick to like a 1:1:2:2:3:3 ratio. The 12th. So 2 days. Hey everyone, Magic is up. The update is launching on the 12th. Unfortunately, we don't offer any isometric exports. No. Okay, let's open up my other map. But you can use the cinematic camera, which is a drone, to kind of get the angle you want if you want a cinematic or like an isometric angle. This thing is kind of free floating and you can get it to exactly the angle you want and then take a picture. I will say, I mean, people have already imported their own sky maps on the workshop. These skyboxes work really well. So when you're done, what you would do is use the skybox. Here, I'll just download it and place it on and show you really quickly. You're going to want to disable collisions. Kind of center the skybox on your map as best you can. Then you grab the corners and expand it out past the edge. As long as it's in... Alex, the limitations are just the file formats, basically. STL, FBX, and GLTF/GLB. This is perfect for, you know, like if you drop a token in for a top-down export, though, it's going to ruin it. You know what I mean? You won't be able to really see inside of your map because a bubble's covering it. It's like a dome. So it's mainly for like first-person immersive shots or like, you know, cinematic fly-throughs, etc. But you could save as this version of your map as a separate splintered version and use that as the, you know, basis, so to speak. So you have one for like immersive shots like this, and one that's the play map. Look at the loo. But yeah, the asset importer document on our wiki is very in depth and covers a lot of stuff. But there is close to, I mean, anyone can share an asset on the workshop. And right now there's over 4,000 assets on the workshop, 4,098 to be exact. Many of them are handmade and shared just by the kindness and, you know, like time and like essentially the generosity of people in our community who are willing to take the time and put the effort into either creating and or just uploading and sharing them. Some people also find assets from, say, third-party places where they offer Creative Commons licensing. If you're not familiar with Creative Commons, I suggest you look into it. But essentially, it is a way to allow you to share and distribute certain digital files as long as you properly attribute the creator and you're not reselling it. it's still very much focused on printing maps. It's just Dungeon Alchemist also is an immersion utility, so you essentially can use it in a lot of unique ways if you're creative. And by that I mean there's people in our community constantly showing me new ways to use Dungeon Alchemist. Like those skyboxes are a great example. One that's a really fun, neat example. This camera was shown to me by a DM who makes maps for, well, they make maps for like their community or like a Patreon. And they said that one of the DMs in their Patreon, one of their players, always has a familiar that they like to fly over areas where they can. So if it's an open area, they'll fly the familiar over and scout it out. And so they wanted something like that. And then they did this. And so they'd fly over the area like this with this camera, record it, as you can record. And then they'd send that clip to this person when they'd ask for it on that map. So, I mean, really, in general, we're just showcasing all the things Dungeon Alchemist can do, Mystery. But right now, I am building a map from scratch, which is this tower. And it is a multi-story, round, circular tower. And essentially, I'm showcasing how it's possible for anyone in our community to do this right now. YouTube chat isn't showing? Weird. Okay, I'll refresh it. But Dungeon Alchemist is a map-making tool and an immersion utility, so there's lots of ways to use it for gameplay. Not just for making maps, but the immersion side, capturing screenshots or cinematics to use as handouts that may be triggered at certain points, is a very great way to initiate a very emotional response out of your players. And some players are more visual than they are like having a mind's eye. So having a visual like handout or feedback or a video or something to go in with what you're doing is great. Okay, can someone on YouTube say something so we could test and see if the chat comes in on the feed? So the last couple weeks we've been slowly building this up, and it is essentially 3 floors. We've got the first floor, which is kind of the kitchen hearth area. Then the second floor is the study workshop. The third floor, I plan to be the bedroom, which I think will be a nice... Okay, YouTube is working. Yay. So sometimes the YouTube feed doesn't pipe into the stream feed like the rest, so we have to refresh it. If for some reason that happens, any of you YouTubers notice that, let me know, because I can still see it on my stream feed. Just not the... I'm not paying attention sometimes to the stream feed chat. Anyway. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? But what's really cool about this map is essentially it is designed to be navigable in this first-person view. And that's really what I felt was important, is I wanted the space to feel lived in and natural. Uh-oh. Let me in! Okay, I got stuck under the edge there. My token was a little bit too tall. But I feel like this is really coming along. So what we're focusing on today is we're gonna fill in the shed, which will be like kind of the garden and tool shed, and then do the bedroom. Oh, my singing voice is awful, so please remind me not to quit my day job, which is being the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. It's really one of the best jobs anyone could have. I essentially get to talk about D&D all the time. I mean, the jumping's been part of the first person for a while. It's been in there since it launched. You know, the furniture might be a little too tall. I honestly, I mean, what if I was kind of like a shorter person living in a tall world, you know? I'm just kidding. See, this token here, I resized it wrong. This one's too tall. This one's giant. I need it kind of in between the two. I think I just made the token a little bit wrong sized. Oh no! I just noticed something. Hello? We're gonna move this over. Over. Yep, these clip. You just notice these clip through the ceiling, so we cannot have that. Perfect. Oh yeah, if collisions are off. Weird. There's this. So in the update, we did add a sprint to the crouch, or to not to the crouch, to the tokens. So if you run, you can, I mean, you can run now. Sorry, let me get into a token and not have so much word salad and just show you. I gotta say, this is looking really good. So if you hold shift, L shift, it will sprint now. And you can kind of like jump pretty far. It also speeds up the cinematic camera. Well, I will point out that like tokens in first person was something we added without at a community suggestion, and it was more something we added, you know, that wasn't really a planned feature. We do plan to add ceilings and roofing at some point. Most likely the next update is when we'll tackle that, and multi-level if I have to be honest. But there's no guarantee for sure that will happen in the next update, but there's just been some talk about it all. Anyway, moving on. The thing about it is, we understand it's weird that you can like see over the wall when you're in a building, like for instance like this. That's what they're talking about. It is weird and immersive breaking. We plan to fix that with time. It's just the first person token thing was more just kind of, hey, let's get it in there so people can play around with it. We'll see how good it works. And as a result of tokens being added, the Hero Forge tokens, we were able to test and do 3D asset import, another thing we never planned on. So it really expanded the functionality of DA, just being able to put this in and play around with it. I think with time, it'll get better. You know, the skybox selection will get better, maybe even some choices for it. There'll be, you know, more first-person utilities. There'll be better immersion in buildings. But the first and foremost focus is always map building. These other things are just things that we added in because they were really highly requested by our community, and we had time in our development schedule to squeeze them in. But the thing is you can make better maps if you have more assets, right? We can only make so many assets per update as a team. And if we gave the community the ability to import custom assets and share custom assets, that only grows your map making potential, right? So realistically, this token ability was segueing to something so much larger that was going to drive map making on a really high level. But the thing about Dungeon Alchemist is feature creep is always really prevalent on our mind. And we want to make sure that we don't take on too much with the team size we have. We don't want to deviate away from our development plans. Every single update is still a major stretch goal, which means every update is a Kickstarter promise delivered. We just add in a couple extra benefits, quality of life improvements, things like that along the way. And a lot of times we'll lay things out in like steps, like a foundational layer, and then some stuff on top of it, and then some stuff on top of that to get it to a point where it's more solid. I mean, they do have that, Ed, to a degree. I don't know if you know this. I'm going to save and I'll show you. So Harry asks about VTT Lite features in DA. Right now, we don't really know. It will likely be after we leave early access that we even approach this, which means we've delivered on all our Kickstarter promises before we even approach a VTT feature. So far, what I've heard the devs talk about is things like Fog of War, dice rolling, maybe even multiplayer support. We'll see. So I'm going to just draw a building really quick to show you that there is an immersion ceiling in every building that will block out the sky at least. Hey, Stormy, welcome back. Hey, Bane, how are you, buddy? Oh no, I just generated that without a floor. Let's regenerate that. So we've got a loo. This is the bathroom in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to put a token here to demonstrate this. The sky is grayed out right now, right? Watch this building. If I click on it, this tool here, edit room, you can show the open sky or show a grayed out ceiling in a building. So essentially, if I get back into the token, when I look up now, I see the sun, and granted, it doesn't cut off the treetops, but it does cut out the skybox. So that's a step in the right direction. So it's an immersive ceiling. And essentially, you have this option in DA. It's been available in DA for a while. So you can just go in here and flip that on. So what it does is when you're in a cinematic or first-person mode. Hey, Rev, how you doing, buddy? Today's the day! The sun is shining! By the way, everyone, so a few awesome creators in our community were given limited early access to Magic, and today one of them, Rev, will be streaming a little bit later, showcasing some early access content from Magic. So Rev, Nikki Nerds Out, and Dirty Rollers RPG will be live, and they'll be kind of co-streaming and whatnot. I see your messages, Rev. I'll send it over to you when I have a moment, okay? Sound good? It'll probably be after the stream ends, just shortly after. 2 days until Magic. That being said, there's a few content creators on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok that will be Instagram, etc. that'll be releasing content related to Magic. Same as me, be releasing early access teasers for Magic on our various platforms. So make sure you tune in and check out their streams, check out our social network posts so you can see all the latest stuff. T3, are you excited? Raise of hands, who's excited? Sorry, I'm still on my first coffee, so I'm a little bit like boo at the moment. Mac brain don't do good. Sorry, Ed, what was your question about Oh, Tailspire. Yeah, it's not quite a full ceiling, but in my other map, the one I was working on before I got distracted, that one definitely has ceilings. So it's possible to do ceilings by hand in DA. Just like any other map maker out there, you just gotta, do it by hand, I guess, I'm sorry, not everything is AI guided in DA. I know it stinks sometimes. But at least it's possible. By the way, when I'm done with the third floor, the fourth floor is going to be an observatory, and the roof on that is going to be this, which there are 2 roofs in DA. This shingled spire. I'm going to lower it down in a bit, but give you an idea. There's the shingled spire, right? And there is this shingled roof. These work. I mean, you could put them on top of things. They're not a perfect solution. But it is a roof. And they can be resized, and you can put them at like L shapes to each other to kind of conjoin them. Stuff like that. Your Wednesday D&D group fell apart? No! What happened, Dyson? I'm so sorry. The biggest bad of all. Oh, well, at least you have 2 backups. They ran out of orphans. Scheduling and interpersonal conflict. Those are the biggest bads of any campaign. I was playing in 3 groups for a while. It gets hard to keep all your stuff straight. Like, it is frustratingly, difficult. I was just, did not have the bandwidth anymore. So, do you think, an anvil just outside here makes sense? Something like that? Maybe a little fire pit or something? Pull some trees back. That's when you kick that person and move on. Okay, I gotta know. Were they a rogue? How about that? Does that look reasonable? Like a little open air forge? Oh, that's peeking through the back of the building there. Could do like a... They just have all these new artificer, doodads and tools. Yep, it is. It is. You got it. Oh my gosh, I missed a follow a bit ago. Portalic, thank you. Thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, remember, it is a family-friendly stream, so certain words will be caught automatically. I like that. These artificer stuff, it's like just a quick, workbench. It looks great. Huh. That's crazy. Typically, I don't know why it is, but like for some reason, it's almost always the rogues that go off the rails. Like bard shenanigans, I can get, like, I get it. But sometimes there's like, I've run into a rogue so many times in my personal groups, people I play, like as a DM or as a player, and they always have this like tendency to want to derail the entire group's plans just so they can steal something shiny. They're like a crow, they can't help themselves. And I'll be like, I'll help you plan a massive heist. Let's steal something big together instead of impulsively stealing something in the mansion of the patron we were told specifically not to steal from. Like, I get it. Oh, my guy would do this. They're a klepto. Okay, well, I mean, but the shiny was just lying there. The other one is they'll just kill anyone for any reason, and it's like, okay, what? That's something that I just drives me nuts. I guess it's just like sometimes, like, yes, let's Robin Hood it and steal from everyone, and other times it just doesn't work. Especially when it's at the group's expense. That's why. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I understand you're trying to play a character. I mean, go pickpocket people in the city square. Or like, you know, go rob the place on your own time, not when you're with the group. Yeah, see, that's the thing is I don't mind. Sometimes there's a place for like a group of thieves or a den of thieves, or like I just don't like it when we're playing a group game and the person's only cares about what they're focused on. Does that make sense? Like I enjoy the fact that D&D is a group activity. And I enjoy like collaborating. And when one person tries to derail everyone, that frustrates me. I think that is the thing that bothers me the most. But yeah, you're correct. That's kind of a session zero thing too. You gotta make sure, you know, and sometimes it's hard to see that behavior early on. What do you mean by that, T3? Like they're like trying to do intrigue behind everyone's back? You know what? You're not even going to be able to see those. So I'm going to put them up here. That is really wigging out there. Bumming me out. You know what? We have those tools, so I'll just use these other hands. I'm going to put them below this somewhere. Or maybe above. I don't know. I just want them in here somewhere. Looks pretty good. And the thing is, I don't have a problem with rogues. I've played with plenty of rogues that, like, cohesively play with the group. Or, like, I've planned heists with them. I usually main an artificer, and artificers can double as a rogue in a pinch really good. And so I don't mind stealing things sometimes, but I think there's a time and a place. Like when we're trying to establish a reputation with a new patron, or like we're in some place that like it's our first time being there and we're a guest, like maybe feel it out, scout it, come back later. You know what I mean? Instead of like when you're there trying to build up reputation, like I just logistically, like if you get invited to someone's house, right? Someone invites you to their house, and the first thing you do is just start stealing things as you're invited. Genuinely speaking, in a normal social setting, it doesn't go over very well. And the only time you're going to get away with it is if, like, you get really good rolls, right? So essentially, they're playing a gambling game, a game to, you know, get a little rush where at every player at the table's expense. Anyway, I've seen shenanigans from all types of players. I've also seen the lawful paladin do similar things where they won't let people do anything because they're lawful, and it's funny, but it also can be frustrating. It's like everybody kind of wants to play the game their own way, and that's the same thing that Rogue's doing, but at the same time, it's at the expense of everyone in the group, so you got to find that balance. I think that's what I'm looking for always in a group, is a group that's like mindful of the other players and wants to play as a team. Okay, so what kind of things can we put in here? I'm thinking like some crates, but ooh. Got these like crate of gears. Let's just tuck those over in the corner there like that. You can see it kind of hanging out under there. I like that. You're so tired, bro. Oh my goodness. Get some rest. Do it for me. Oh, it's coming along, Mondu. I'm working on his shed right now. I'm just kind of filling it out with like random tools and the like. Doesn't seem like you have ill intentions there, you know? It is hard to focus and read things on the side when you're trying to, like, DM something, right? You know what I think would be perfect right here? Some beehives. We'll put some right next to the fountain, or to the well here. Or over by the... this little space right here, I'll put a couple beehives. Little apiary. You do see new assets. They're kind of snuck in. I am in the new build right now because I accidentally opened this map once in the new build, and then I couldn't open it anymore. And the devs were like, "Ooh, well, I guess you got to do this now." I think, you know, back in the day, everybody used to have a lot of hats. You know, first off, you had to have, I mean, just like everybody needs to know how to like cook and do some basic sets of skills, back in the day, either you traded with somebody who has a specific set of skills or you had the skills. Like a lot of people knew some basic carpentry and things like that, right? I think putting them up on something, would that be cool? Like a stand? Yeah, unfortunately, I had to load it in the new build today because of that. That's something I had no control over, I'm afraid. Wish I could put this out without the hay, the cover. Just do one of those, what was it called? I feel like we looked at them a week or two ago and they were wooden. We'll find them. Like a roof, like an eave or a overhang. I think that's what it was called. There we go. These. You can't even see it. Darn. Nope, we'll just leave it. But I mean, like, the average old home would have, like, you know, like a little garden and, you know, possibly even like it would be like a homestead style, right? Where you have like a minor amount of self-sufficiency. So I think of it like that. Okay. So I need a forge. Let's look at the forge options. I was thinking one of those like clay furnaces. Exactly. Exactly. That's why I put it there. I thought this would be the better location. I do kind of want to like maybe even just add more, like mix and match a few. Small one here. This shape is well, what do you think, Jim? I have a bad apiarist? Weird. That's what I'm looking at. Back. Hey, see ya, Yermal. Have a good one. Say hi to Garfield for me. Or is that Nermal? See you later, Yermo. You know what? I think I'm going to add a bee, because there are bees in the workshop. Yep, here we go. Oh, that's big. Woo! No! No! It crashed! Hopefully, our autosave caught some of our work. Yeah, autosave is on. I've had it on, and it's set to 1 minute. It's kind of fun that I'm in Magic on this. Okay, so we've got not everything. Let's see if the... see if it caught anything. Yes! It caught all my work! Even the logs. Wow! Okay, let's just save in this state. By the way, animated objects from the workshop now have this button. You can disable their animations or like trigger the various states of the animation. So this one has 3 animation states, so it'll go between them all. So there's the default. Yeah, that's true. It is just a new save on the autosave, huh? Watch. I just need to click on that. Done. See? Oversaved it. I like that one where it gets up and moves around. I just made it big so you could see it. It did make an autosave. Hey, Bane, how you doing? Dr. Chicken Mama, welcome to the stream. This is Dungeon Alchemist. This is actually the official channel for Dungeon Alchemist, and I'm the community manager. Dungeon Alchemist is a map making and immersion utility for tabletop games such as Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, etc. And right now we're showcasing how you can utilize the map or the tool to make very immersive maps. Welcome to the stream. If you have any questions, let us know. We're here to answer and guide you and help you out if you need any assistance. Those bees really, really make this pop. Hey, thank you for the follow, Dr. Chicken Mama. Thank you. Much appreciated. Did I see them? Yes, I've seen them, but I've been so swamped I haven't even had a time to really like look at them closely or react or understand them. I think they're a cool concept though. As you know, I've been kind of burning the candle from both ends the last few weeks. It is. Magic is getting the best of me lately. Yeah, that's Robert is Torrent Stormbringer. Yeah, I need a week off. But the problem is, the bees are animated, Luli. Yes. They're, hey, Seisu, can you drop a link to Twitch in the YouTube chat, please? So I downloaded this bee from the Steam Workshop. We have Steam Workshop integration for maps and assets. There's nearly 9,000 maps and over 4,000 assets. These assets, many are created by hand and shared by our community. Some are, you know, simply taken from third-party websites and uploaded. So like this one here, Cthulhu Statuette, credits Cthulhu Statuette with the link by the creator and the Creative Commons attribution. Hey, we just hit 2,500 followers. Woo! Lou Woolley, thank you for the follow and for pushing us over there. Much appreciated. Yeah, you did. Much appreciated. But I actually just searched bee in here, and that's where I got that. So there are a few animals on here, and a few of them are animated. We could add like a butterfly. You know what we need? We need this good boy. No! Ah! Seriously, opening assets from the workshop is causing DA to crash. I gotta report that after the stream. Thank you so much for pushing us over the 2,500 mark. Really do appreciate that. Crashes happen especially in beta builds like this, where it's not a finalized build state, if that makes sense. But one nice thing about DA is we do also have autosave inbound. So autosave is in the next update, which is awesome. So it's under the menu here. You can set an autosave interval of 1, 5, 15, 30, and 60 minutes. Enable autosave and hit save. In normal builds, I don't crash that much, but when I'm in beta builds, it crashes quite frequently. But the autosave, what it does is it'll put an autosave in the folder right next to it. So here's the main file. There's the autosave. This is an autosave of the autosave because I accidentally opened it from the... When I opened it from the autosave, it made an autosave of the autosave. But as you can see, it keeps making newer versions of the map. Fudge, it lost all... So I came back in and the autosave overwrote it. No! All the bees are gone. I gotta redo them. That's okay. The bee's still massive. What just happened? It's weird. It just copied off of that, but it's still mega. See that? Like, sometimes they come out huge and sometimes they come out small. What the? The bees are from the workshop, but once you download something from the workshop, it's saved in your asset collection in two places. In the downloaded objects section, right here, or it'll be anywhere it's located, wherever they kind of set it aside. I'm assuming they put it in like nature. Yep, see? So notice now in the normal asset menu, there'll be an icon on assets from the workshop. You see that little cloud with the download? That's an indicator that you are now looking at a workshop asset. Stock asset, workshop asset. Let's see if I can. And now you can buy. Boom. If you are experiencing crashes semi-regularly in DA, there might be something going on locally that you're dealing with. We could try and troubleshoot it if you want to. I would recommend, for starters, checking to see if you have all the files in DA, like the integrity of them is verified. You could have a corrupt file in Dungeon Alchemist and it's causing this problem. So if you go to Steam and you right-click on DA, right? And then you go to Properties and then Installed Files. Right here it says Verify Integrity of Game Files. You can do this with any Steam game. So if any Steam game isn't running correctly or weirdly or loads problematically, crashes all the time, try this. You may have a corrupt file. It'll go through and check them all and replace any corrupt files. One time I had DA was like crashing after 5 minutes every time. Did it and it found like 5 corrupt files. So that's a really good way to check and see if there's an issue. Okay. So, yeah, now that we covered that, let me just save again. Okay. We've got an anvil. What other things can I put in the shed? Kind of fill it out. I need some suggestions. Oh, it's saved. And plus the autosave saves every minute. The problem was when I came back, I didn't load into the autosave. I loaded into the stock save, and then the autosave overrode it, and then it was overridden in the state it was in, which meant no bees. That was the mistake. Trying to think of what other tools to put in here. Maybe some tongs. Fertilizer? What? Fertilizer? Some rope? I'm just giving you a hard time. Do your laundry in nature. Hmm. Just trying to fill it with objects. Let's look in here. What else we got? Bag on the table. Right? Magic lights. Or like light, you know? There's about 100 ways they can... Oh, you. I need a honey pot in the house now, though. Like, it only makes sense, right? No, this is paint, but it's a tube. It can be paint. It's paint. It's whatever. This could be a lubricant for, like, you know, gears and devices and stuff. It could be anything. Oh, bother. Yep, exactly. I think we got a good assortment of stuff. I like what we've got here, like just little tools and whatnot. Just gonna check and see if there's any other little things I want to put in here. Maybe just like one of these little doodads or whatchamacallits. Sitting on top of the shelf there. This is called a thing longer. A bucket? Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. When you're right, you're right. Got an idea. So I'm gonna put one of these stumps here. Right? Because an anvil would be secured to a stump, typically. And then we had where there was one that was like all the various water. Like one of these buckets, right? Anyway, looks like we got a good assortment of stuff here. I'm gonna save. Are there thicker walls? What do you mean? What are you trying to make, Run Amok? If you give me an idea of what you're trying to do, I can better assist, I think. I don't mind adding details. If anything, like, this is a master class in detailing your maps. You're never gonna hear me complain about details on a map. Outer walls? Oh, that's easy, my friend. Really easy. Now I'm going to just make a new map. I'm going to save this really quick, and then we'll bump over to a new map to show you. Castle walls have been actually really easy to build, and many people in our community have been able to do them for some time. If you go to Objects and Structural, don't use the AI walls. These are for regular buildings, not fortifications. So you got to distinguish. Do you want this to be a fortification wall or a building, right? For the outer walls, in this case, it would be a fortification. So you're going to want to go to Objects, Structural, and then if you look through here, you have a whole bunch of sections. There's metal platforms, stone platforms, right? Tons of different options here. But these work great for castle walls, city walls, etc. You can grab one of these, right? They snap to the grid. Where is the grid? Weird. The grid is not visible in my build. Oh, you're right. Let me check the transparency. Nope, nope, it was off. Yep, you're right. That was me. I don't remember turning it off, but I guess I did. Okay, so let's place one of these. Notice how it snaps into the grid. It's already on it perfectly. If you hold shift when placing an object, it automatically duplicates it. But these are 5 feet wide. Put 2 of them, that's a 10-foot wide wall. That's pretty decent fortification. You can make it 15 feet if you want. And if you hold shift as you place, they duplicate. These stack like Lego and snap into place. Now let's say you want the wall to bend a little bit and have some roundness to it. If you disable collisions, you can move them together like this, right? Just the littlest bit, and then rotate off axes and start rotating to a different direction, making the walls somewhat rounded. Does that make sense? And after a while, then it'll have a slight bend to it. A little bit more work for now. It's probably best to just keep the structures pretty strict, or use these curvies like this to really kind of bend it around an edge. Does that make sense? So essentially, now I've got like a little wall. And you can make a castle wall in like a few minutes. And then if you want to fortify it with like barricades or something, go into freestanding walls, right? They have like half walls. You can even do some broken ones if like the city is under siege. But you could put like freestanding half walls or little things like that in tandem. These look good. Canisters. Ooh. Masonry might look good. Do you have like a little extra fortifications on the wall? Soon, my friend. Hopefully fun with objects will give us more. The object brush has limitations in what it can and can't do, and it is getting there. Obviously, these upgrades improve it tremendously. So it kind of works. Remember, we have a whole update planned for object optimization and utility. So really, a lot of things you think will be like, why isn't this? Is because it's probably planned for that. Anyway, back to my build. Okay, Regine, thank you for the follow. And Dread Charybdis, sorry I butchered your name there. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Damn Fam. If you have any questions about what we're doing, feel free to ask and we will answer. Trying to think of, yeah, it needs some crates. Thinking something like this underneath. Maybe like a little chest side. Nothing too fancy. Simple chest. I don't want it to be like a lock box. It's just stores stuff. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I saved before. Let's just see. Probably did. Yep. It's okay. I didn't save before I closed. I really have a bad habit of not saving before I jump over to things. It's a bad habit because I always open new maps on stream to like be like, oh yeah, let's check this out. And when I do that, I forget. Yeah, but the autosave, the problem is I have it set to 1 minute, right, Mondu? And so I've opened the map and been in it for a minute and it lost all my progress. That's part of the problem. It overwrote the autosave that was there. So that's the downside of a 1 minute autosave. Maybe a 5 minute is better. Because then it's not constantly overwriting when you reopen into DA before you realize it, you know? That's true. No, I opened it just to see. Yeah, I've lost a lot of my work today. What is going on? It's like my save is corrupted. I know I saved after I placed bees. What is going on? Save. I'm not, well, I'm pretty sure this beta build is messing with me. That's the nature of it. Goonie, it's intended for top-down exports. It's not meant for 3D play. You just build in 3D, so you have much greater immersion in your builds and can get really detailed with them. Then you export in a top-down. Yeah, in a normal workflow, it wouldn't be problematic, but yeah, when I'm like not paying attention to what I'm doing and jumping between builds really quickly, it has a problem to overwrite things very quickly. That is where the issue lies, and if you're just playing normally, it won't be an issue at all. Yeah, what I'm wondering is why bees are like duplicating into a massive size when I do this. Or when I change the animation, they're different. You did nothing wrong. Don't worry about it. Honestly, that's kind of what me being alive and playing around is for, is we learn from it and garner experience and become better map makers as a result. Learn from my mistakes. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Thuni one. Hey, Kurtz Keisel, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Dam fam. What I'm really worried about is like all the progress I made in between, like things like this not being saved. So I'm gonna save. Gonna save again. I'm gonna go save as, and I'm just gonna new. Hopefully we'll have a branch of this just in case. And then I'm gonna open the other one to see if it saved all this. Okay, the bees are here. Oh my gosh, that one though got all bugged out. Something about the animation with them, if you like change the animation, sometimes it resets like their size. Anyway. Good. I didn't lose all of my work. It is weird though, some of the stuff from earlier is gone. It must have overwritten it with the autosave. For sure. Eh. You live and learn. I honestly maybe put out 10 objects that I lost, so it's not like the end of the world. Mining cap. Put one of these crates over here in the corner. And we'll put some more rope on it. Then we need something on the table. There was some artificer doodads that I put there, if I remember correctly. Am I crazy? I'm not seeing the artificer stuff. Oh, it's under engineering, probably. Nope. Mining equipment. Okay, went through that. Actually, let's... Oh yeah, I did have one of those tubes earlier, remember? We put some painting tubes. And there was like a little paintbrush thing here in the corner. And I had one of these tubes sitting like that. And then, is there a watering can over here? There is, okay. Oh yeah, I had one of these little guys, like just up here, right? And think I put one of these mortar and pestles too. Rope just a little bit. Okay, I think we got a good like assortment of little tools in there. Samael, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. You're lurking? All right, cartographer. How you doing, buddy? How was your stream earlier? Sorry I couldn't drop by. I have been so swamped with magic. Like preparation and whatnot. So much going on. You excited for the update, my friend? Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it. The YouTube chat was coming through, right? You were able to... Or is it not coming through right now? I can refresh it. Just the chat. Just in case. Your name reminds me of Hellboy. There's like a really cool like antagonist kind of like, I don't know, like a demon he fights named Samael. Something like that. Not to say you're a demon or anything. Oh, that's probably where they got it from, if that makes sense, because the like that show has a lot of basis in like it uses mythology from like all sorts of stuff, right? And the show is derivative of the DC comics, so makes sense. Save. Paint the ground under here like I did earlier, because just have like what looks like a little bit of kind of smuts on the outside there. And then I'm going to go into nature. We have some rocks, like lots of different rocks, right? But the sandstone rocks in particular can be recolored, which means you can make them look like coal or soot. See there, it looks really good. All sandstones can be recolored, so this works beneficial in two ways. If you want something dark, or if you want like a white stones for like snow, you can do snow-capped mountains or icy rocks, and then everything in between. Cartographer, who taught you that, brother? Who taught you that? Hey, Rhino. Yeah, we're probably going to be raiding them when we wrap up. So, just so you know, well, I can only raid one of them. But Nikki and Rev and RPG Dirty Rollers RPG will be streaming after this, and they have early access to Magic. So they will be doing a group stream and showcasing Magic and doing a build fun kind of multi-stream technique I like to call Hot Damn. It's essentially hot potato, but with a map. And they're building maps and passing them to each other, kind of in a triforce, if you will, of map making. And they will be passing them around and building them and showing new stuff from Magic. So if you want to see an alternate creator's take, someone from the community, not me, see Mapmaker see it live, then check it out. You know what? I will be most likely raiding one of them when we end, but let me get their links. Here is... This is one of them that's live right now, okay? Or should be live soon. Ah. Yep, she is. Trying to find... Awesome. I run for 2 hours now on Mapmaker Monday instead of 1. I just found I didn't have enough time to get anything done, you know? You know, I was browsing streams yesterday, and it was the coolest thing ever. I saw a stream with Dungeon Alchemist maps, and so I pop in, and it's someone I've watched their streams before, and they were using... I was like, I know this map. I recognize this map. They were using my map. They were using Seymour's Crossing. So I was like, oh my gosh, hey, I know this map. They're like, yeah, it's a Dungeon Alchemist map. I'm like, no, it's my map, actually. And they're like, oh, wow. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, yep, I made it. Okay. I feel like the outdoor area is really solid. Like, it looks really good. He's got a little workbench to sharpen his tools and work on things. He's got a little furnace if he needs to, like, fix his tools. He's got his well, an outhouse, a little farm, an apiary. So it's a little set up here. Yeah, it was the one that was summer and winter, about the stuff in the water, yes. So, I think we're all set up to jump into the 3rd floor, which is going to be a focus on... I got the bees from the workshop, my friend. So, if you go on the workshop and just type bee, there's this. It'll only have one animation until the update. In the update, if there's multiple animations in an object, you can switch between them. So these bees, for instance, as an example, they have 3 animations in them. So if I press play, it'll switch between the 3 states. One is kind of like an idle one is this one, and one is this one. I don't know if it's copyright free. I'm just pulling it from the workshop. Yeah, this one's Creative Commons license. So as long as you're not reselling it, then you're fine. But if you put it in a map with the intention to sell it in any way, then you probably cannot use it. If you want to be able to see them from the top down, they got to be somewhat big. Also, magic, guys. Come on, bees can be big. Like, you ever seen bumblebees or, like, a movie or anything where bees are, like, huge? No, I know, Will. That's like the 4th time someone said, those bees are huge today. And I'm like, well, I mean, they gotta be if we want to see them. I want to add, like, a crow or something. Do you think a crow would fit in here good? I feel like I downloaded one earlier. No, I didn't. What other animals would be good on the map? Let's search animal. There's a cow, but I don't really have enough room for a cow. Maybe like a little pen for some goats. Ooh, we got some a chipmunk. There's a hummingbird. The hummingbird is beautiful. I'll download that. Uh-oh. What just happened? Weird. Well, chipmunk's pretty small. We'll get that one. And it is animated. Back. Hummingbird. Oh, it did download already. Okay. There's like a rat. There's a mink. Spider. There's a pheasant. Little crayfish. Frog. Kind of want a koi pond now. So we actually have an eye in DA now. That's stock like this floating eye. Little tentacle underneath is animated. There's a vial of eyeballs. Let's see here. So, I'm gonna put a bed in here to start. There's some new wizard items. Oops, I don't know how to spell wizard. Including like a bed. Wizard bed. It is quite large. I don't know if I'll be able to. Wizard. So you have all these different patterns you can choose between. And you could take the top off. Kind of feel where this should go. In between the lanterns, I guess, and just shrink it down a little bit. Dag, don't lie, bro. Please, not about stuff like that. Don't troll about that. We release on the 12th. Today is the 10th. Tomorrow is the 11th. So do not take what he's saying at face value. I guess depending on your time zone, it might be. Bannister. One of these. So you want it more to play like an MMO? Is that what you're saying? Where there's like balance in all aspects of it, or more balance at least. Okay, I could have sworn I just downloaded this. Ah, where is it? So frustrated. I know I downloaded this. Let's just try Spiral. There it is. Excuse me. Dang, that hit me like a ton of bricks. That looks cool. All right. Let's see how. I think that looks pretty good. Let's add like a dresser. TechWits, in order to export to Foundry with multi-level, you would essentially do each floor as a scene. So up until like 3 weeks ago, Foundry didn't have native multi-level or level support. They only just added it in V12. So you got to give us some time to react to things like that, big adjustments, market changes. That being said, multi-level is on our roadmap, and we've been waiting for a virtual tabletop to offer it stock so we could do it correctly. It's been kind of a game of development chicken, if you will. Now, that being said, it's possible to build a multi-level structure by hand, like I'm doing now, and build it as a pull-apart, where each floor can essentially be grabbed and pulled apart or deleted, and then you can export the level below it, if that makes any sense. So each floor can be removed and you can look at that floor. That is the way to do it, is essentially building it as levels and save as map floor 1, save as map floor 2, save as map floor 3, export them as such, if that makes sense. But yeah, you are on the right track if that's how you're doing it. Hey, Ricky, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, no problem, TechWits. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. Ultimately, when we do release multi-level, like building, like exports and whatnot, I imagine at that time, we will have some sort of solution where it'll export as layers. You know, like you know, it'll do a slice and export this section and that section and that section. That's probably the way to do it, is slices exported as separate maps or levels. No, it's about a question they had independently, Ricky. Now, that's me saying how we might address multi-level exports when the time comes, as like layers. For right now, we can only speculate. The next update will have round rooms, diagonal rooms. You'll be able to raise the floors up and down, but you won't have multi-level AI support. You'll still have to do it by hand, like I'm doing right here. But the point of these streams is to educate you on that process, to show you it is possible to build a multi-level structure entirely by hand if you want to. And a round structure that is multi-level. It is possible. Okay. In fact, while we're gonna just save, and then we're gonna just do some demos of the round and diagonal walls for you for a minute. I really wanted to put more in here. I just didn't get enough done today. Thinking something like this could be a wardrobe, right? It's huge, though. We're gonna have to resize it. Nice little wardrobe there. Or this one. I like this cabinet, too. It's big. Let's resize it. This one opens up, and it has little side pockets. You can put like a sword or something in there. So which one should I do? That one looks really nice under the lights, not gonna lie. So this is gonna be his bedroom, so we're thinking bed, you know, wardrobe, storage type stuff. So what kind of things would he have, right? Heck, I could probably even put like a round shelf in here. Oh, those won't fit. That one will. Boom. All right. But anymore. Darn it. Guess I could just snap one bookcase in. Just too tall. Ah. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna save. And then we'll take a look at some of the new wall shapes you can do. They translate to your virtual tabletop of choice if the virtual tabletop supports animated maps. So that comes down to a preference on your end. Say if you do Roll20, Roll20 has very limited map sizes, so animated maps isn't really an option. But Foundry and Fantasy Grounds offer animated map support for, say, like with Fantasy Grounds, they offer WebM VP8 codec support. For Foundry, they offer MP4 and WebM support. So we offer animated maps for them. If you use Foundry and you put like an animated asset in it, that will translate into the export for sure. So if I were to export, say, to Foundry, it'll have a 30-second loop with those animated assets, or as close as it can be. So essentially it'll do a 30-second export, and then if they loop on that, perfect. Our assets do, like except for our effects, but like all of our like animated assets will loop. Okay, let's draw. You know what? I really like these extra dimensional rooms or diagonals. So there's this little dot on the corner of the rooms, and you can grab it and you can pull it inward or pull it outward. And when you do that, it allows you to have a lot more control over the shape. That dot, if you move it to the edge instead of centering it towards the center, it will now make a straight edge. We basically have like a stop sign here. Close. You can rotate structures now before you generate them, and you can raise them up and down before you generate them. So what I think this is great for, I'm going to sink this into the ground a little bit. What's a spell that a lot of people use? Well, okay, this one's a more of a niche spell, but I know a lot of people tend to have Portable Hole. Or at some point, I guess it's not a spell, it's more of an item, huh? Right? So imagine you'd be able to essentially kind of show off a portable hole. No, it is a magical item, not a spell. Sorry, I got it confused for some reason. So you could reference this to a few magical abilities. This could be a bottled respite, or like, you know, like essentially the warlock, genie warlock level 1 ability. It could be equated to pocket dimensions of all sorts. But yeah, banish could work for this. Essentially, this is where it banishes them to. But I think of this as a like a kind of a portable hole composite, if you will. It could be the inside of a bag of holding, too. Bag of holding, however, is technically square. Right? Isn't it got a square foot? Something like this. "64 cubic feet is its dimensions." Ultimately, A lot of options you can do with this. You can have it raised up and above. Gotcha. It is weird that it gets these weird, like, kind of geometric shape around it. But there we have, like, a portable hole representation. You know what I mean? Or the inside of a bag of holding, or any number of things. That being said, though, you know, you might want to check out this new item that we have. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to just hurry and wrap this up after showing off this one last item, okay? This new item we have called the bottomless bag is essentially a bag of holding. And you can put items inside of this, and when you close it, it stores them inside. So you could have loot inside of it already when they open it. Yep. All right, everyone, we're going to wrap up the stream. Had a lot of fun on Mapmaker Monday today. We covered a lot of concepts, did a lot of building, got a lot done. Learned the woes of autosave, but at least we learned how well it can work. Thank you, everyone that is followed in the last 10 minutes or so. We had TechWits, Datinator, and Pope Sticks. Thank you so much for joining the Damn Fam. Appreciate you very much. My name is Mac. I'm the community manager for Dungeon Alchemist. This is the official Dungeon Alchemist channel. Today we were showcasing how to build a map and also features from our upcoming update, Magic, which launches in 2 days. Before we leave, though, I'm actually wanting to raid another streamer. There's some community members of ours who had early access to the Magic update, and they are actually streaming it right now. So if you want to continue watching what you've been watching and learning more about the Magic update, you can check them out. So let's set up the raid really quick. We're going to raid Nikki Nerds Out, who is streaming Dungeon Alchemist right now, and will be multi-streaming shortly with 2 other streamers showcasing Dungeon Alchemist content in an event called Hot Dam, essentially where they pass around a map, which we call a DAM file. DAM stands for Dungeon Alchemist Map. So they're going to be passing around hot potato style and making maps. So we're going to start the raid, all right? When you drop in, let them know that you came from our stream, and just say, you know, Damn Fam raid. Let's say that, okay? Here we go. Everyone ready up to raid. Just took a second. All right, everyone, we're going to end the stream. See you later. Have a good one.